So help us understand the huge variability we have on how we cope with extra calories.
Well, it's very interesting when you take a bunch of people and you very carefully monitor and measure the amount of calories that they're actually burning or their body needs, and you feed them excess calories, a fixed amount of excess calories, say 1,000 extra calories every day. And you do that over several weeks. The interesting thing is that you will find that there are some people there who start putting on weight and they can gain, several pounds over a few weeks. And there's other people who are, despite eating those extra calories, don't put on weight at all. And we know that there's a lot of metabolic variability. You might have heard a couple of years ago there was a lot of talk about involuntary movement, fidgeting. We talked about fidgeters. So there are people who, when they increase their caloric intake, they just start getting restless, they start fidgeting, they can't sit still anymore, and they can burn amazing amounts of calories just by doing that. And the funny thing is they don't even know they're doing it.
So give us your advice. How do we then monitor how many calories we can handle and how much we have to burn off?
Well, that's a great question, because I think most people have no idea how many calories they actually need. Most people have no idea how many calories they're eating, and most people have absolutely no idea how any of this works. And so you find a lot of people who talk about calories, but there's no true understanding of what that actually means. And you often say people, obesity is easy because it's just calories in and calories out. But the problem here is that as you change your calories, either in or out, your metabolism adapts. Your brain adopts. You start having different behaviors. When you start restricting calories, you start getting hungry, you start having appetite, you start making poor choices.
So how do we keep track of all of that?
And that's really a very interesting question. I think it has to start with the fact that when you talk about obesity management, the currency of weight management are calories, and calories count. And I'm not talking about counting calories. That's a different story. I'm talking about the fact that in the end, calories count. Now, how do you keep track of that? Well, there's all kinds of tools to keep track. I tell my patients the simplest way you can keep track of this is keep a food diary. Now, the interesting thing is that keeping a food diary or using an internet application or downloading something onto your iPhone that you can use to track your eating behavior, just the simple act of doing that actually changes behavior. And that's that's very interesting. So a lot of people think they're keeping a food diary so they can show me what they eat. I don't care what it is in the diary, because all I want to see is that they're actually keeping that food diary, because by keeping it, you become much more aware of what you're eating, when you're eating, why you're eating, and that is often the first step to actually start making changes.